Wizards of the Grimoire is a two-player card battling game where players are wizards casting spells at each other trying to be the next Archmage. In this game, you will have spell cards in front of you and mana cards in your hand. To activate your spells, you will have to place mana cards on them, and how many are needed is shown here. The value on the mana cards doesn't matter for activating a card. We'll talk about what the values do in a moment. On their turn, each wizard completes the 5 phases of their turn. They will first draft a spell card from the 10 available on the table. You are only allowed to have 6 spells in front of you, so once you've reached that limit, you may either replace a spell with no mana cards on it, or you may choose to not draft a new spell. Then your spells will cool down and you will remove 1 mana card from each spell in your tableau. You will then draw 3 mana cards into your hand. Now we move into phase 4, which is casting spells, and this is most of the game. As stated, each spell requires mana cards to be casted. You may only cast spells that have no mana on them. Spells need to cool down after they're casted. You will place the correct amount of mana cards on the spell and then carry out its effects at the bottom of the card. The last phase is a basic attack where you can discard a mana card to do damage equal to the value listed. Each wizard has 60 health and the last wizard standing is the winner. Before we head out, let's take a quick look at some of these different spell cards. There are 3 types of spells. Red spells will mostly deal damage, purple spells manipulate mana or the rules of the game, and green spells will generally gain you more mana. And spells will activate at different times. Instant spells, which happen right away when they're activated, delayed spells, which will activate every time a mana is taken off of them, and ongoing spells that are active as long as there is mana still on the spell. And these spells all work off of each other. For example, if I had these spells and 5 mana cards in my hand, I could use 2 to activate Time Distortion, which allows me to pick up 2 mana cards off of other spells. I take these 2, which now frees up Second Strike, so I put 3 mana cards on that and deal 3 damage. Now I have 2 mana cards left, and since Second Strike makes the next red attack card I play cost 1 less, I can activate this Fire Blast, which deals 7 damage. And many spell cards will deal with a mana card's value, like Mutation, where you draw a card and deal damage equal to that mana's value. Players will go back and forth casting spells until only one wizard is left standing, and that player is the winner.